We were actually like live streaming her having breakfast, and people were like, I think it's happening now. And it was like an 8-hour thing. And like 500,000 people watched it, and it was amazing. Reddit put it on the front page. She did all the work, really. When Snoo came along and she was still stuck inside, and there was like her umbilical cord just like hanging out and stuff, and I could just tell something was wrong. So I yanked her out because Mama just seemed like she couldn't get her out. The umbilical cord was still attached, and I freaked out, and then Mama attended to her, and then she severed the umbilical cord with her mouth, and everybody freaked out, and I freaked out. It was like a spiritual experience, but it was traumatizing and beautiful. And then from that point forward, I swear, that's like the moment that she started trusting me. I had a hole in my fence in the backyard that was like perfectly sized for cats. She just started coming into my backyard, I guess looking for food. I started feeding her, but she was super feral. I just started like live streaming it on Reddit. At that time, my mental health was really bad. And sometimes the only things that would get me out of bed was just like, oh, Francis is probably hungry. We should go feed Francis. It turned into like this mental health check-in thing, but with Francis facilitating. Like she was some group leader, and she'd show up and we'd all sit there. We'd all just talk and watch Francis eat. I slowly tried to gain her trust and get her to let me pet her. It took me like 3.5 months before she'd even let me pet her. This went on for a while. Showed up with blood on her ear, and I freaked out. I still at that point didn't have her trust, so she wouldn't let me like pick her up or whatever. So I just got some salmon and like inched it into my kitchen until she would come in, and then I just shut the door. She totally freaked out, ran around the house a bit, and then went downstairs. I was like, all right, cool, this is your room now. And I just made it very comfortable for her. We started streaming her, and you could see like the kicks in her belly and stuff, and people were like, I think it's gonna happen soon. And people were like, I think she was just looking for somewhere safe to be. 500,000 people watched it, and it was amazing. I was like, should I leave the room? And everybody in the chat was like, yeah, you should leave the room, give her and the baby some space. But I'd keep her live streaming, and everybody would be like, she's crying, you gotta come back. This is Mama. Doesn't she look like a kitten? Foxy's my #1 hunter. Donda's my gentle giant. This is Snoo. She's the princess. Bear and Foxy we call the twins because they look so much alike. So this is Rogue. This is Ollie. He was my first cat. He's my soul cat.